Okay, today we're going to do something a little different than I normally do. I've got a friend that we actually met when we were in Mexico, and he left for Southeast Asia, and we have met up again in Southeast Asia. As opposed to being a video about slow travel, this is going to be more or less a video about moving to a particular country. So, just so you know, we're not showing anything fancy. We're sitting in a coffee shop right now, but I think the interview is going to be interesting in a lot of respects because Buddy has no filters.
Right.
And I like that. So, next you'll see the video. This is Buddy Tripp.
Hi.
Buddy is an author. Buddy is a nomad, or an expat, I should say. He's also been an actor. And like I say, he's unfiltered. So I think the first question I want to ask Buddy is how long he has been in Southeast Asia, so everybody knows.
Okay, so when I retired, I moved to Guadalajara in Mexico, and then lacking any visas, and we don't need them, as you know, to go into Mexico, but I can only stay 6 months. Thus, I moved to Bali. That was my first excursion into Southeast Asia, then back to the U.S., and then back to San Luis Potosi, where we met in Mexico. And from there, I was going to move to the Philippines. I have a friend. His channel is Geo on the Go, and he's the guy that sent me the photo of Bali, and I ended up going and he didn't. So I was going to move to the Philippines, but it was closed because of COVID, and I came to Thailand. Actually, I spent, as we talked about, I spent 3 nights in Saigon first. Busiest city I've ever been in. Crazy traffic.
Ridiculous traffic.
Yeah. It's not uncommon to see 4 or 5 people on a motorbike. And so then from there I moved, I went to Bangkok for 3 nights, the Big Mango, and my destination, and I had already planned on going there, was Chiang Mai, where Jim has been. You probably have seen some of his videos. Chiang Mai, where I lived for a year. Chiang Mai, from Chiang Mai, I moved to Cebu City in the Philippines. Didn't care for it, particularly after having food in Thailand, which in my opinion is one of the world's great cuisines. So I moved back to Thailand from the Philippines, and I moved to a place called Pattaya. As I have said on my own videos, in my opinion, Pattaya is a shithole. It's filled with lager louts and prostitutes, and I lasted a year there because I paid. I had a lease, and I heard from my friend Steve, and he asked me, "What about Siem Reap?" I had never heard of Siem Reap, but having worked in the museum business, I'm an inveterate researcher, and watched a lot of videos like you might do. In fact, there's one guy downstairs whose videos I watched, and moved here, and that was just over a year ago. I just got my second retirement visa.
The questions I have for you, Buddy, is when we were moving to Mexico, one of the things we found out was that YouTube tends to be a little bit on the misleading side. You had mentioned that you did research with YouTube and you looked at videos to decide where we're going. How helpful were those videos, or how misleading did you find the videos that you were watching?
I mean, one of the benefits I had was having traveled. My father was in the military, and so we didn't vacation, we moved places. And it was the same when I first left the United States when I retired. Like you, I watched a couple of people who probably shouldn't name now, but and I did notice that. But once I moved to Guadalajara, I realized the truth of it. You know, it's everything isn't shiny and new all the time, and you're going to see a lot of trash and lamp posts and trees in the middle of the sidewalks. The sidewalks are not made for walking; they're made for parking your motorbike on or your car. So I kind of, having already done that and lived in a foreign country, I had lowered expectations. So the end point of my answer is they were very helpful because I knew to take everything with a grain of salt.
One of the things we find get asked a lot is how much does this cost? How much does that cost?
Yeah.
One of the questions I would have for you is to live modestly in Siem Reap, what can you expect to spend a month?
I mean, my lifestyle when I made a lot of money and when I made a little money never changed. So that's the same now. I have easily in every country I've lived in lived under $1,000, and that's the big popular topic on YouTube is, hey, can I live here for under $1,000, or can I live here on my Social Security? And for me, the answer is yes. You can spend as much as you want. It won't take much to live really high on the hog here in Cambodia or Thailand or Bali or Philippines or any place like that. When we lived in Mexico, it was not expensive. It's more expensive than it is here. Cambodia, I think, is one of the least expensive places I've lived. It certainly is. I moved here because, as I mentioned, my friend Steve, visas in a lot of places are a hassle. They certainly were in Thailand. Here, not. It's not. My retirement visa, I paid $30 to get in the country, and then I got my retirement visa. I think it cost me $300. I just got my extension for another year, another $300. So that's cheap. So you can really live high on the hog for a little amount of money. Right now, Jim and Karen came to see my girlfriend and I, and my one bedroom, which is, you can talk about it,
Yeah.
which is a one bedroom on Sauk San Road. I pay $250 a month. I just paid my third month's rent, and my electricity bill. I have water is free and Wi-Fi is free, or included, I should say. And my last money I gave to my landlady was $301.
That was including your electric.
Yeah.
Now, how much can you expect to pay for electric if you use air conditioning all the time? Because I do know
Yeah, I don't know because I don't. I do use it a lot. I mean, I have it on all night, every night. And,
what's been your highest bill.
was second month was 365.
So you spent about
$15 more than this time.
$115 for the electric bill.
Yeah,
A month.
250. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so it's comparable to a United States bill.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Now, living in Siem Reap,
Yeah.
what conveniences that an American or Canadian would be used to having do you have to forego by living in Siem Reap?
I mean, Siem Reap is a very hip little city. It's we talked about. It reminds me a little bit of Chiang Mai 25 years ago. Not that I was there, but it's very small. So I mean, all mod cons you can get. There's a mall, but it's dying. Siem Reap is not really a mall town the way Chiang Mai and Pattaya were. It's just we talked about it's the second largest city in Cambodia. But as you can attest, it has a real small town feel to it.
Phnom Penh is a big city. Phnom Penh feels like a big city. Phnom has everything about it screams big city. When we came to Siem Reap, which we absolutely love Siem Reap, it's got a very, very small town vibe. It doesn't feel like a big city. It feels like a small town.
Yeah.
A country town. Now, we're in one of the nicer areas in Siem Reap, and even at that, it's nothing near what Phnom Penh was, and it's certainly not even close to Bangkok.
And I think you guys said you liked Phnom Penh more than Bangkok.
Oh, yeah, I did, because it was a little less busy.
Right.
It was actually, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to tick people off, but it's true. In Bangkok, I felt as though people said hello because they wanted money. In Phnom Penh or in Cambodia, people say hello because they genuinely want to know where you're from, and they don't care about how much are you going to give me money-wise.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we noticed.
Yeah, I think
the only convenience I think you would give up here for the most part is an air-conditioned taxi cab.
which you could get.
You can get, but for the most part, there's more tuk-tuks in Cambodia
Yeah.
than I've seen anywhere in Southeast Asia.
Me too. And there are two types. There's the rickshaw, which, as I described in my video, is like a turtle shell towed by a motorcycle. And then there's the remorques, which are literally horseless carriages. They're literally like they're carriages driven by a motorcycle, and the price difference
Is negligible.
negligible.
And it's so inexpensive anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere in the city for, well, you said $1 for a pass app, but we just grab somebody on the street and they're always asking for $2, which
Yeah.
is probably more than you should pay, but really, when it comes to $2, who cares?
Yeah.
I think another question people would be curious about is there any expenses that would surprise people who come to Siem Reap?
I think it's going to depend a lot on where you come from. So let's talk about. There's nothing really. I mean, electricity can be expensive if you're going to use air conditioning all the time. I mean, all the time.
And you may need to.
Yeah, I mean, I've lived in Southeast Asia for 4 years now, so I don't. I do use it. I do have it in my bedroom on all night. And since it's winter here in Cambodia, I often get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and turn it off. Let's talk about the low side. I mean, rents are. First of all, it's a renter's market here in Siem Reap, and I imagine in Phnom Penh as well. Since COVID, the Chinese all left, and
No, the Chinese are back now.
oh, are they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in Phnom Penh, there was a lot of Chinese.
Oh, okay.
So, but, yeah,
Well, that's why the airport is so far out of town. That's where they're going to keep all the Chinese. You could rent a place. I wouldn't want to live there, but you could rent a place for $50 a month. I prefer a little bit. I prefer what I'm used to, like everybody else. I want a bedroom. I don't want to live in a studio again. So when I first moved here, I lived across the river in Salakamruk in an area called Wat Damnak. The Wats are the temples. And I got used to eating in and around there, and I moved, and I would go down to the riverfront and have a meal. There's an area down there near the night market, and you can get a meal, freshly cooked, delicious, for $1.50. You can buy. Let me say this. I'm cheap, frugal is a better word. So I think I accidentally challenged myself to not spend much money on anything. But the caveat with that is when I would decide I'm going to get Western food, that's $6. Oh my God.
yeah, I think people know by the videos that we really don't look at $1.50 meals. But yesterday we had steak. Karen had a huge lamb shank and mashed potatoes and the whole works. And I had a drink. Karen had something. The total bill came out to about $45. If we were in the United States,
Yeah.
it would have been well over $100 for what we had.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we tend to be not quite frugal to the true sense of
Right.
the word, but the few times we've had inexpensive meals, we found they're good. They're real good.
Let me ask you a question about Khmer food. So if you don't know Cambodian culture, they are called the Khmer people. You've probably seen it written Khmer, and that's the way it's written, but it's Khmer. You had dinner with us, and my girlfriend cooked Khmer food. What was your thought?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We had something that I would never eat normally. It's called Khmer cheese or Cambodian cheese.
Yeah.
It's fermented fish.
Yeah, it's the dish is called prahok katis. Prahok is that fermented fish, and it's called fish because it's very aromatic, like Limburger or blue cheese. But how is the flavor?
Delicious, absolutely delicious. We always hear about Mexico and how you should move to Mexico, how beautiful Mexico is. You don't hear too much about Southeast Asia. You definitely don't hear a lot about Cambodia. Question I would have about, and truthfully, when we came to Cambodia, we didn't know what to expect. We've been really surprised by what we found here. I'm going to ask Buddy just to give us a recap on Mexico living and Cambodian living and what he sees as being cultural differences or just living arrangement differences in Mexico as compared to Cambodia.
Let me broaden it a little bit. All of Southeast Asia, and as you have discovered, even though they're right next to each other, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam,
The world's different.
completely different cultures and food. I love all of them. I only spent 3 nights in Vietnam, but I spent 2 years in Thailand.
Except the Philippines.
Philippines is another thing.
We won't get involved with the
Right.
Philippines.
I think it's all going to depend on how adventurous you are and how much you want to have your country in some other country. There are expats that come here and bitch about the fact that it's not like back home. My advice is go back home.
Go back home.
If you're not like that, you're going to find that Cambodia is probably the easiest place to live in the world, other than the heat, of course. Now, that's something you have to understand. It's hot and humid all the time. Now, we just went through probably 2 of the best weather days in the year.
Yeah, I went to Angkor Wat during it.
And the weather was gorgeous.
Perfect weather.
You know, and it's hot. The humidity never goes away. And that's something that took me a while to get used to. It was hot and humid in Thailand. When I lived in Chiang Mai, though, it's up north. And so this time of year, it would get cool in the mornings. But there wasn't a day that goes by, not so much now, that I didn't say, I'll change the word I use. Damn, it's hot.
Yeah, close. We find that Cambodia seems to be easier to adjust to than Thailand or Vietnam for a couple of reasons, and it's fascinating that we haven't seen as many American expats or visitors as we had in Thailand. Thailand has the reputation, but Cambodia, we found that the people speak really good English.
Yeah.
For the most part, they speak good English. They're extremely friendly, and the biggest thing is you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Yeah, exactly.
The Cambodia uses the U.S. dollar, which is kind of like, how did that work out? But it's always about 4,000
Real.
real.
Yeah, the national
To a dollar.
currency is real. RIEL. And like Jim says, it really doesn't stray very far from 4,000 real to the dollar. And if it does, it's going to be a fraction of a cent and nothing.
And the people don't fool with that fraction.
Right.
If they say it's a dollar and you give them 4,000 real, they'll take it.
Yeah.
And they're not worried about exchange rates. So we found it very easy. We've also been shocked. I don't know why, but we always thought that Southeast Asia was going to be dirty.
Yeah.
It's not. It's immaculate clean. This whole city seems clean.
Well, it's funny. I live in a neighborhood, so we mentioned there's 2 restaurants across the street I have yet to go to, but they're always packed with Khmer people. You'll see not just restaurateurs, but housewives out sweeping the sidewalks in front of their house.
Yep. Yeah, we see that too, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I have one more question that's actually for the singles out there that are watching this video. I can't speak of it because if I did, you've seen my videos of Karen. Karen would kill me. So what I wanted to know is, Are there any cultural differences when dating a Cambodian woman as compared to an American?
Compared to American. All of Southeast Asia is not comparable to dating in America. All of Southeast Asia. So, one of the things that I get on my channel a lot, and I address it fairly plainly, is age gap relationships. Now, men our age are never going to date women in their 30s or 40s, maybe 50s, but that'll be about it. Age gap relationships are common in all of Southeast Asia. Yeah. Dating sites are the way. If you don't speak the language, which I don't, I can say 6 or 7 words in Khmer. Dating sites are the way to go. Usually on dating sites, they'll hint at broadly or say it out directly that they are freelancers or bar girls, so prostitutes. The dating site Tinder in America is a hookup site. It's not here. I mean, it may be, but I met my girlfriend on Tinder, and she's last month she was half my age. Now she's 35, so I'm not 70 yet. So
just so everybody knows too, Buddy is a lot older than me by about 8 years. I just wanted to make that clear.
I'm 68.
And I'm 70, so just so you know.
So culturally, yes. Thailand was somewhat less culturally different. I didn't date in Bali. Didn't date for a long time because I didn't want to. Khmer people are more traditional. It doesn't mean that when you get a girlfriend, let me not go down that.
Let's not go down that road. I know where that's going.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down there.
So is it different than America, and I presume certainly Canada? Entirely. It's entirely different. Entirely different. Southeast Asian people are very traditional, and they adhere to traditional gender roles. That pisses off a lot of American women, and there's a whole movement about passport bros and stuff like that. And I actually had an American woman I went to high school with slag Southeast Asian women, saying, "Oh, they're young, stupid, and poor." Well, they're not stupid, and poor and young are not. It's insulting. It's cultural hegemony, in my opinion.
They're more family oriented.
Exactly. They're much more family oriented.
Which actually they had that also in Mexico. You've got a very family oriented culture in Mexico, where if you're dating the daughter, chances are you're going to meet the mother, the father, the brother, the sister, and you're going to either become part of their family, or eventually you're going to stray away from your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I think you find that here too.
Absolutely.
So,
when I met my girlfriend's brother, who was wounded for the Thai War, he was in a hospital here in Siem Reap, and we went there, and that was my first experience with the krama. He gave me a krama. A krama is it's basically a long piece of cloth.
Yeah, it's what your girlfriend gave us.
Right. My girlfriend gave them because it's traditional Khmer clothing, but it's also traditionally Khmer gift.
Yeah, and they're beautiful.
They're
also.
beautiful.
So, okay. Well, I think that wraps up everything. Is there any parting words you want to say?
No.
How about at least give a shout out to your YouTube channel so people can possibly
the Worldwide
watch.
Buddy Show or something like that. The Buddy Show in Cambodia.
I'll find out the name and I'll post it under here so you know the name of his YouTube channel.
And in fact, my YouTube channel goes back to when we were living in San Luis Potosi, so all the way back to there.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about living here, anything at all, I'm more than happy to answer questions, dating or money or whatever. I stopped doing YouTube for a while because I wasn't really getting any interaction. And if you come on and you have questions, I'll do videos. Otherwise, I'm gonna let it go.
Okay, and that's basically my complaint also with YouTube. We don't get a whole bunch of interaction.
Yeah.
But hopefully that's going to change eventually. In any case, signing off for now. We'll talk soon. The next video you'll see will probably be on Kuala Lumpur, because we're in 2 days we head to Kuala Lumpur, and that'll be our next one.
I can't wait for that because
Until then.
I want a vacation there.